Hi, I'm Elaine. Welcome to Top Tip Tuesday on my Stamp with Elaine Facebook page. Today's Top Tip Tuesday, I'm going to talk about the new water painters, which has replaced the aqua painters that Stampin Up used to carry. These came in a pair with a large brush and a smaller brush. And the new water painters you'll find on pages 146 and 147. The picture of the water painters are on page 146 and the blurb about what they are is on page 147, and look out for the little red icon with an N on it, and that says it's new. They're $11.25 for 3 brushes, and it also comes in a nice case where you can keep all 3 together. Now you'll notice that the barrel are 2 different sizes. I measured how much this contained and it's approximately 10 mils, and on these it's about 12.5 if you fill it right up to the top. The only difference between the two, well, apart from the size, is that when you open, you twist it toward you to open, and you twist it away from you to close it. However, on this one, it's the exact opposite. If you twist it towards you, that closes it. So you need to twist it away from you in order to open it. Oops, I've done it again, haven't I? So twist it towards you to shut it. The barrel construction, further down the barrel, it's quite a firm, hard plastic. The only soft part is just near where the screw is. So let's open that. Right here, I don't know if you can see it, it's got some embossed letters that says push, and that's been flattened in order to emboss that word on it. It's all part of the plastic's been embossed, and it says push. So that's where it guides you to squeeze the, I keep doing that, you have to twist it toward you to shut it. I've got some ink here. This is Misty Moonlight, and I'm just going to pick up some paint with an acrylic block. I'm using the shimmery white cardstock. Now I'm going to squeeze a little bit of water where it says push, and this is the fine brush. Whoops. And this is the larger brush. So squeeze water to wet the brush tip. It's wider. And then lastly this one. So again, find where it says push to wet the brush. I was interrupted, so let's squeeze that so that's nice and wet. And that's the thick brush. Now this is on shimmery white paper. Let's try it on watercolour paper. So there's your thick brush. Whoops. There's your medium. And there's the thin. So that's on the Fluid 100 watercolour paper. That's on shimmery white cardstock because that's more tolerant with anything that's wet. Now I'm going to use this to wet my paper with a broad brush, and then I'll use the sprinkles to tap some on to see how that goes. That's lovely. squeeze the barrel to wash the brush. Now the comparison with the old brushes, the old aqua painters, they had a large brush and a finer brush. Now these are much fatter, and you can see on the smaller brush how much finer that is. And then with the larger brush, the medium-sized brush, you can see that this is longer, and that is sort of fatter and shorter with the old aqua painter. This time I'm just going to sprinkle some on the mat. That's on dry paper, but I'll squeeze some water on here and brush it. Squeeze again to clean the brush. So it's effective either way. I'm back with shimmery white cardstock, and this time I'm using watercolour pencils. I want to see how that works when you add water to it. So I'll probably use the fine brush. Is that the fine one or the... No, that's the fine one. That works well as well. Or you can add watercolour by picking up the paper, the colour from the lead itself. That will work just as well. And let's try it with this. Leaves more lines. But you can cover that up by using picking the ink up, not ink, the taking the brush to the watercolour lead, and that works just as well. So I think I've covered most bases. So we've used watercolour medium, the bit from the ink pad. We've tried it with the ink pad, with the sprinkles, and with the colour pencils. Obviously it will stain the brush eventually, even if you clean it straight away. But I do like that broad brush tip. So when you store your brushes, make sure that it is still wet so that you can put it back into the lid without splaying the fibres. It's much easier to put it back when the brush tip is wet. You have a nice case to store them in, to keep them together. I think it's a great improvement. So this reservoir for the water holds approximately 12.5 mils, and this one only holds 10 mils, the old one. So that's my 101 on the water painters. Thanks for joining me today, and I'll be back tomorrow with another project. Bye!